just starting out and you're looking for a job and you don't know what you want to do. Should I get into the health industry? Should I work out? Should I do this? Should I do this? Where should I go? Food industry, whatever. If you're young, you're looking for a job. Whoa, there's so many options. So I work at Home Depot, Amazon. Look, if you are young, sales. Scrap everything now, sales. And I'm not one of these damn car salesmen that will tell you why this. No, I'm going to break down the harsh realities of sales and why I truly believe it's one of the most fundamental jobs to get into because of the amount of skill that you can acquire. There's so many things that working a sales job can teach you. There's a lot of things that any other job will teach you. And the idea of learning is just thought. Learning is same condition, new behavior. This is a ruler. If I take this ruler, I pull it out, I smack you, and I put it away. And I pull it out and I smack you, and I put it away. And I pull it out and I smack you, and you duck. You've learned. Same condition, nothing's changed. I pulled it out, I swung at you, but you ducked. New behavior. You didn't just get smacked, you ducked. And so the idea of learning isn't really predicated on an environment or an experience. It's thought, right? It's identifying something, thinking, and saying, okay, well, how can I behave differently? It's simple. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of context, a backstory. From there, we're gonna shoot it to the sky, send it home, and we'll lock it in. At 18, I joined the military. I had nothing going for me. I was an academic all the way till high school, but I wouldn't even consider myself an academic. I was just an anxious little scared kid that wanted to make his parents proud because he was insecure and he lacked that growing up. And so, in an attempt to make my parents proud, I would work very hard at school and I tried my best at school and all that fun stuff, whatever, right? High school came around and a lot of family problems at the house. Heard some things I just didn't want to hear, saw some things I just didn't want to see. And so, in an attempt to escape all of that, I went towards the one thing that helped me, drugs, alcohol, right? Really helped me numb all my emotions and go to sleep so I can just sleep through the entire night so I didn't have to hear the screaming and the crying and the agonizing. Yeah, you know? So 18, went to the military. I wasn't going to put my mother, who raised me, all on her own through financial debt just because it was what society told me to do, go to school. Nah, no. So what I did was went to the military because I had no other choice. I wasn't gonna get a job, you know. I didn't apply for financial aid, didn't have that. So I was like, okay, now I gotta go to work, man. Joined the military. Spent about 4 years there. I ended up getting kicked out, and I forced them to kick me out because I had dreams and aspirations, right? I had about like 2 years left in my contract. I couldn't take it. I had dreams and aspirations. I was there. I'd done my thinking. I've done my reflection. I spent hours sitting outside looking at the same tree. I spent years trying to figure out the meaning of life and existence. I built my foundation. I was ready to embark on the next journey. I couldn't be stuck there for 2 more years. I was like, there's no way, I'm gonna go insane. So I forced them to kick me out. I showed up late. I pissed everyone off on purpose, and they kicked me out. They sped me up. And so if you want to get kicked out, I promise you it's possible. You just have to want it. I wanted it. So I risked it. I showed up late, didn't respond to phone calls, didn't do anything they told me to do. Anytime they said do this, I did the opposite. And they would threaten me, hey, we're going to kick you out. I was like, do it. And I got kicked out. All my dreams and aspirations got pummeled because I thought I was going to embark on a path for better once I got out, be on this new life-changing journey, and I'm going to change my life, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. I ended up door dashing and working at a commercial gym as a janitor. Eventually, I became a salesperson because I found out that I had a knack for it, right? And it all started because I'm cleaning the windows one day, and there's a salesperson that's outside, one of our salespeople at the gym. I was working at Crunch Fitness. You guys know Crunch is a franchise gym. And he's just trying to sell memberships. And I'm like, that's not how you do it. I'm just talking smack, cleaning windows. He's like, you try. And I was like, okay, if I do it, you get me a chicken sandwich. I mean, I'm starving. He's like, deal. Grabbed the clipboard, no idea how to do it. I just said, hey, man, went up to a random person, signed him up, done. I said, here it is. Give me a chicken sandwich. He was like, my man. Gave me a fist bump. Did that. And then my manager, he pulled me to the side. He was like, meet me here tomorrow. Where? The front desk. I was like, you don't want me to scrub the toilets? I can scrub the toilets. You want me to clean what? Why the front desk? You want me to clean something at the front desk or something? Is there a mess that you guys break or spill something? He's like, no. I want you to sell again tomorrow. And I was like, I don't know how to. He's like, I'll teach you. I said, okay. And so I started learning how to sell. And I was learning. I was a student. I was just listening like this. I was like, uh-huh. I was like, well, what if they object with this? What if they're like, I don't have money? Uh-huh. Well, what about this? What about this? I was asking so many questions, right? And at the time, I was just focused on making minimum wage and stacking my money, right? Because I didn't have a high leverage skill. It wasn't like I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. It wasn't like I always wanted to be a business owner. It wasn't like I was a natural born businessman. Some people say you're born with it. Some people say you aren't. I'm unsure how I feel about that. I'm not sure. I think there's truth to both sides, right? I only got into business and I learned so much about business because I was in an environment where I was just consumed by business. So some people say, well, Thompson, it didn't look like you were born for it because you went to the military and you were this and you were pathetic and you worked under this and everyone around you in your city knew that you were employed by your friend and you were a nobody. So who knows if you're born for things, right? But my intro to sales started at the gym. And I guess I benefited the team so much to where they needed to give me 40 hours. Like they needed me around as often as possible. So I don't know if it was ethical or legal, but on paper, I was a janitorial. But I sold memberships. But I was actually doing both, man. Because they needed someone to clean the gym. Because I took all the hours for being a janitor. So I was doing both. It was tough, man. But because I was doing both, I got a lot of like leeway. Like I got a lot of time to relax. I was really cool with the manager and he wasn't so strict on me, right? Like I'd get in, toilets, bathroom, scrub the toilet, scrub it, clean it, wipe it down, clean off the piss and the shit all over the floor and this, boom, alcohol in the bathrooms, wipe it down, mop, go around the gym, vacuum, boom, 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 be done in about an hour, half. I'm sweating. He's like, all right, you ready to sell? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Grab the clipboard, walk outside, walk up to people. Hey, my brother, I love your shoes, man. Hey, look, I just need 30 seconds. If in 15 seconds you get pissed off at me, just go spit in my face, right? And I'm like, hey, what gym do you go to? Boom, 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 did my thing, sold memberships, done. And all these memberships would go under my manager's name because we had to meet a certain quota, right? So everything I made, it went straight to my managers. It never went to me. Never went to me. But it's okay because I was just grateful that they were so lenient with me. They weren't as strict on me as they were with everyone else. Like I got to kick back sometimes. I got to just relax. I got to take lunch breaks that were longer than usual. I got to chill and they never really tripped on me. You know, they were super cool with me because I benefited them, right? And this is why I think sales is beneficial because when you're a good salesperson, a company will be lenient with you and they want to keep you around. Similar to when I was at the gym, the team, my managers, they wanted to keep me around because I was just so beneficial. They're like, dude, Thompson is bringing in the freaking money. What the heck? He's getting us units, man. We're looking good. And we're climbing the ranks, you know, stuff like this. And I'm learning more. And I'm asking my manager, his name is Johnny. Me and him are still cool, man. He's working at a gym that I go to right now. Cool dude. Cool dude, man. Gave me an opportunity, gave me a shot. Because he knows how it feels to be dead broke and have nothing. And so he saw it in my eyes, so he gave me a shot. And he was super patient with me, super kind, man. Super cool, you know. And that was my intro to sales. Anyways, what happened is I got good, not that good, but I got good enough that I started taking these things called walk-ins. Usually walk-ins are like when people enter the gym, right? Usually the walk-ins are reserved for like the manager because these walk-ins are people that are actually interested. And the last thing you need is an inexperienced salesperson to just screw up a possible unit. So I got good to a point where the manager was completely okay with me taking a walk-in, like completely okay. He was like, you do it. And I was like, you sure? He's like, yes, go. And I produced. Anyways, the managers, they got transferred to a different location and I just didn't like the crew that we had, you know, like it was not fun. And so at the time I had a friend, his name is Adrian, and he started up this company called Brother Cosmetics, highly successful nail company where they manufacture nail products. And at the time, I called him. I said, "Hey," and before that, I was doing part time for him. Like he needed an extra set of hands on things like packing orders, shipment, prepping products, stuff like that. But it was like once a week type of thing where he needed me, twice a week type of deal. It wasn't anything crazy. And so I called him. I was like, "Hey, do you have the means to bring me on full time?" He's like, "Yeah, I do. I don't want to, but why? What's up?" I was like, "I got an idea." I was like, "What if I bring us in enough money to employ me full time?" So look, full time minimum wage, we're looking at $2,400 a month. What if I find a way to bring in $2,400 a month and then some, so that you have money to pay me to grow the company and you have some money to pocket yourself? He was like, "Sounds good. How are we gonna do it?" I was like, "I'll meet you at the warehouse tomorrow." Boom. So at the gym, I learned a lot of things, right? I learned how to do cold calls, cold outreach. It's called cold outreach, where you reach out to people that you don't have a direct connection with in hopes that you can sell them the product, or in hopes that you can generate a lead. A lead is someone that could be interested, so that they can meet, that you can set an appointment and perhaps close the deal, right? And so I was like, "Hey, how many areas can we grow this business in?" So it was a private label business where we had our own brand. It was our own brand, private labeling. Our goal was to make this the number one nail company in the world. That was our goal at the time, right? And so we were these young, highly ambitious, testosterone pumped men, young men, full of life, right? And so we tackled it head on, right? And so I was like, "How are you bringing in money now?" He's like, "E-commerce, man, social media marketing. That's my main source. That's my lead gen right there. Social media marketing, and that's about it. TikTok and Instagram. Send these videos to people's For You pages. From there, they'll say, what color is that? In the description, they'll see the color. Then they'll visit the link in the bio, and from there, they'll shop, and boom." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Anything else? Email marketing? Are we doing anything?" He's like, "No, none of that." And I was like, "Okay. What's another big way to grow?" He's like, "Distribution, man. I really want to get into distribution." I'm like, "Distribution?" I was like, "Explain." He was like, "Well, there's nail supply stores, actual stores that carry different brands, big time brands. We need to get into these stores." And at the time, we weren't even that established, man. Like, we had like 65K followers on Instagram. Like, we were not that established. We weren't one of these brands where like people knew about us. We were just like one of those small businesses at the time. And I'm like, "Dude, how am I gonna do this?" I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Let's rock, man." I was like, "You got a job, I got a job. Your job is marketing. I need you to build the reputation of the brand, because if you don't build the reputation, it'll be hard for me to sell, right? For example, if this ruler was always known to break, snap, and the measurements were incorrect, would you opt to buy this or something more reliable? Probably something more reliable, right? And so that was the case with us, right? Like, we had phenomenal products, but we didn't have the reputation that we needed to back it up. Like, we had a few ladies that would shop our products, and it was a successful company, right? Like, the company made enough to stay afloat for a long time, like a lot. Like, it became successful. The demand was there. So we had to get a business phone, an actual, one of those things where you and dial. Yeah, I had to get one of those, a company phone. And then I had to make a script. I was like, "Okay, it's time to start cold calling. The best way for us to close distribution is, one, we're going to tackle whatever store is in our area, because that gives me an advantage." What's the advantage? Face to face, an opportunity to shake your hand, say hi, introduce myself, introduce the company, introduce the products. And so I broke down the game plan. I said, "Look, we got stores nearby. Check this out. We got boom, 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 boom. I'm going to call them, set an appointment, drive to them, bring the product, try to close them. From there, we're going to hit different states. We're going to go downward, down south, up north. We're going to go to the east, to the west. Like, we're going to just go everywhere, all right?" So a lot of it was cold outreach, man, like cold emails. I would send hundreds of emails a day. I would call. If the manager wasn't there, I said, "Do you have an email?" Boom, send the cold email. "Hey, Thompson Brother Cosmetics, just want to let you know that a lot of our clientele are really interested in seeing our products in your store. Let me know who I can speak to in terms of distribution. Can't wait to hear from you." Boom, boom, boom. Sent hundreds of emails a day. Instagram, sent hundreds of direct messages to stores a day through the actual company page. hundreds of calls a day, so many calls, right? And I made my own script, and verbatim, it would go like this. It would go, I'll go, hello. I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm looking to speak with a store manager. Oh, yeah, can I ask who's calling? Yeah, this is Thompson from Brother Cosmetics. Okay, give me 1 second. Hello, this is the manager speaking. Hi, what was your name? Oh, my name's Erica. Hey, Erica, my name's Thompson from Brother Cosmetics. Quick question, Erica, are you familiar with our company by any chance? No, not really. Well, perfect, Erica. Look, we're a nail brand. We manufacture nail products. We started out in 2019. Been at it for about 3-4 years. A lot of our clientele that shop our products online, they come to your store, and they're always sending us messages saying, hey, please bring your products to this supply store, to this supply store. And your store was at the top of the list. And so I'm calling because I want to discuss an opportunity to distribute our products. By any chance, do you have a computer pulled up? Yeah, I got a computer pulled up. Perfect. Let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna give you our website. You can type it in. Okay, I'm ready. Boom, 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 boom. Type it in, right? I go through the whole script. Show off the product, show off the website, show off the presentation, show off this, show off this, show off this. Boom. And then I'd send the terms and agreement. Boom. Once it's signed. Boom. I'd be like, okay, what the opening order is this amount. We had an MOQ. Boom, 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 boom. Closed, right? And then there's so many times where if there's a store about like 5, 10, 15 miles down the road, I'd call and I'd do the same script, and I'll be like, as a matter of fact, you're not too far from our facility. Why don't I see you in about 25 minutes? They're like, sure, perfect. I'd come, I'd bring the product in a bag, like our actual products. I'd come, get all dressed up, right? We had polo tees that we made. I'll show you. I'll grab it real quick, man. We had this right here. Right? Like we made Brother Cosmetics polos right here just so that I looked presentable when I pulled up, because I took all of this from the gyms, right? I was like, hey man, maybe we should get like a polo with my name engraved, because if I'm doing these like direct approaches, B2B, business to business, and I'm right there. I don't want to be in like just a regular black t-shirt, I want to represent the company. That's what we did at Crunch. He was like, good idea, boom. And so we got a blue one, a red one, and a black one, right? And I switched it up and do it. I was the salesperson. Like, I was freaking hard on that, yeah. And so I closed big ticket deals, anywhere from like 2,000 up to 50,000 deals. I believe, I don't remember the number for certain, but I definitely got us to about anywhere from 10 to 20 stores across the US. And for our level, it was very impressive, right? Because in that industry, there were established brands that were much bigger than us, and they did not have any distributors. They were mainly e-commerce based, And so at our level, to think like 3 years in, 65,000 followers, the nerve for these 23, 22-year-olds to pick up the phone, cold call, have a script, go there. Dude, I'm negotiating with adults, man. I'm like 22-year-old. Dude, I'm negotiating with millionaires. I know they're millionaires. I could just tell. Because I'll say our MOQ, and our MOQ was this and this and this, and they're like, done. And I'm like, I try not to act surprised. I'm like, okay, try not to act surprised. Perfect. What would you like to pay with? A card? All right, go ahead. Write the number down. And I'll be like, perfect. It's paid, and we'll get the products over to you. I go home, and I'll be like, yo, we just sold it. I'd go to my boy, I'm like, we sold it. And we would get hyped, man, because like we saw growth in one area, and that was distribution. And I don't want to take all the credit, but I did all of that. It was that sales. I did it. And I got to give some credit to my friend, because he built the notoriety of the company. He built the aesthetic of the brand, the look of the brand. He marketed it, right? To where it made it look desirable to these stores. But I was the one who actually just, boom! I said, what's up? Introduced it, and I closed them, right? And so these were high ticket numbers. And then eventually we did another form of sales down the line, when we discovered that on TikTok, you can go on live and you can sell products, right? We never used me as an angle. We only kept me as like the vice president of sales. We didn't make me the face of the company until my friend got this genius idea. He was like, hey man, why don't we do it like a podcast clip real quick to grow the brand page, to make us more notorious, right? You want notoriety? Let's do a podcast clip and let's talk about something controversial. And in regards to nails, because there'll be two men talking about nails. We're gonna get so much hate. It's gonna shoot to all these nail techs for you pages, and even these nail supply stores, they'll hear about it. We made one video, dude, it went everywhere. Like it went all over social media, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. Millions of views, reposted all across the nail industry. I'm pretty sure everyone in the nail industry saw that video off one clip. And we did it again and again and again, and it built our notoriety. And it was because, I don't want to say it was because of me, but it was this sore thumb, right? His idea, but he was the brains, I was the bronze, right? He would think of something, I'd say, nice, take it, execute it, right? And so his idea was, hey, every time we start these videos, we got to make you the star. We're going to start off with you because you're a sore thumb. Look at you, man. Asian dude with tattoos, deep voice. What the heck? It's like, I got to keep listening, right? And so what happened was I became the face of the company. And so I had a very recognizable face and voice. I'm not too hard to spot, right? I'm like a 6 foot Asian dude, Vietnamese, with a bunch of tattoos. And the moment you hear me speak, you're like, that's him, right? From there, we started going on TikTok and started selling. And oh my gosh, like the numbers that we saw, I think the most we saw was about 72 to 78,000 in a span of 2 weeks, maybe even less. And at that point, we're like, dude, this is crazy. And I said, this is freaking nuts. We'd work like a full 8-hour day and make about $10,000. And at our level, like these numbers were life-changing to us. You know what I mean? These weren't numbers that, maybe to like a successful, highly successful multimillionaire, those numbers are nothing. But like to us at the time, it was like, what? Because we were still a small business, you know? Like we were still operating as a small business. But then we were slowly becoming like a legitimate business. Like we have distributors. We have non-disclosure agreements. We have terms and conditions. You know, we're starting to get affiliates. We're doing email marketing. We have a more professional website, right? Like we're building the notoriety of the brand. So fast forward, obviously I'm not affiliated with them anymore because I made a bad call somewhere. Some things just happened and it just didn't go well. And so now I'm starting from scratch. And I like being honest. You guys know it. In my last video, advice for young people or young men, I told you guys that I'm now back working at a gym. Back to the roots, baby. I'm now selling again. I'm dead broke. I have nothing. And I have to start from scratch all over again. And I'm not afraid because I've lost it all before. And I got it back. And again, now, if I lose it again, which I have, I'm not afraid because I know how to gain it back, right? And it's through sales. And I'll tell you why sales is so great. Like, that was the backstory. And I know that was very long. But the whole point of that was to show you that sales will transform your life because sales is power. I had power because I had the ability to influence. You're in high demand. If you know how to sell, companies, they need you. It's hard to find talent nowadays. Like the whole point of a business is money in. And a lot of times if a business doesn't have a group of salespeople, they have to rely solely on paid ads and social media marketing. That's the only way they can reckon sales. Make videos to market, pictures and stuff to market, and run paid ads on the videos. That's all they got. They don't have like a direct cold sales approach, right? So sales is big. It's in high demand. You have no idea how much money you could bring in a company. Can a company survive off marketing alone? Yeah. But a company will scale when you know how to sell. And I have a stack of evidence at Brother Cosmetics. Like my friend kept the company alive and it was doing good. Like it was slowly green, slowly. But it was just purely marketing and paid ads. But the moment I came in with sales, it went from slow uprise to like just and then it was a little bit too much for us to handle. It was like, damn, this growth happened fast. What do we do? And so now we're pulling like 35 hours, 38-hour shifts and we're just hustling, right? Good times, man, good times. Learned a lot from that experience and hopefully now start my own venture and just do my own thing, right? But sales gives you power because it gives you leverage because companies need you. They will cater towards you. And you can start off at a gym. I highly recommend if you want to get into sales, dude, start off at a gym. Why? One, you're in a gym. You're around an environment of people that want to get in shape, that are all about personal development and fitness. And so you become a product of your environment. You end up working out. Two, it's easy and it's comfortable, right? It's not very difficult like selling a car. It's a gym membership. It's like, hey, what gym do you go to? Have you ever tried out this gym? Well, why? What gym do you go to now? What's the thing you hate most about your gym? Oh, well, our gym doesn't have that. Well, why don't you try it out? Here's a guest pass, boom, boom, boom. It's super easy. And you get to benefit, right? You build your confidence skills and you get used to rejection. I had a framework when I was selling, and the framework was instead of trying to close deals every day, instead of waking up and saying, okay, today I gotta close one deal, instead of focusing on results, I started focusing on volume and output. And so I'd say, okay, today I got to get rejected 100 times. So if I'm doing cold calls, instead of saying I got to get at least 3 leads today from these cold calls, like I got to set appointments or something, all I said to myself was, I got to be told no 100 times. So boom, hey, how you doing? Nope, well, that's one, boom. And I said, all right, 65 no's, got 35 more to go, right? It becomes a volume game because it's easy to get rejected in sales. When you focus on results, what happens when you go on a cold streak? Yeah, you're gonna have a hot streak. You'll have a week where you're just on fire. Then you're gonna have a week where you're just nothing. You're not producing anything. That's how the game works. When you focus on results, you get unmotivated when you have a cold streak. But when you focus on something that's guaranteed, which is getting rejected, you just play a numbers game. You're like, okay, our goal today is to get a bunch of no's. And when you get into that framework, you just start naturally producing. And you don't care about the rejection because you're like, okay, my goal is to get rejected. My goal is not to sell and close. My goal is to get rejected if I end up selling and closing a deal good, right? But you get used to rejection one. And so you build this undeniable atmosphere of confidence. You become this highly confident individual. If you are wondering why I'm able to speak in front of a camera and be so confident, and despite all the things that people say about me, it's because I've been rejected my whole life, man. By women, when I was in sales, by humans, right? And I had to get used to the uncomfortable. I would literally get rejected like by 20 people and still have to walk up to the next person and be like, hey, quick question. What gym do you go to? And I do it again and again and again and again. And the next day 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 and the next day, right? But it gave me this undeniable atmosphere of confidence, like this aura where I could just say, I'm not afraid. You know, it gives you confidence, and that will give you so much leverage in this world. Now, let's just say you started a gym and you do get in shape. That's another plus. Why? Let me tell you something. I truly believe that one of the best things that I did when I was selling for Brother Cosmetics was be in immaculate shape. Like I look good because no one in the industry, there's not a lot of men in the industry, and the men in the industry, they are not in the best shape. And I know I'm not in the best shape by any means. I got skinny, but I was a lot bigger back then. I changed up my routine, changed up my diet, so I lost weight, right? But back then, like I was a lot bigger, and so I stood out like a sore thumb. And when you're in shape, people respect you. They want to do business with you because they're like, I can depend on this dude. Look at him. He has high standards for himself. Look at his body. So that means he's going to have high standards when it comes to doing business with me. And I'm not going to lie, that's a majority of why I was able to close so many deals in person. Because when they saw my physique, they're like, huh, nice, right? I wasn't this like 130-pound scrawny dude or this 250-pound overweight dude trying to close a deal. No, I was like this 180-pound in shape dude, nice jaw, all that stuff, right? Firm handshake. I was respectable, locked in on the eye contact. And so they wanted to do business with us. If you're in sales, please start at a gym. You're in a good environment. You will be surrounded by people that will push you to get in shape. You will get in shape. You'll build so many connections. It's a gym, for crying out loud. You have no idea how many people you'll meet. People that are realtors, people that do this and this. Connect with everybody. Remember their names, right? And from there, you can scale higher tickets. You can start selling cars. You can get your real estate license. You can start selling real estate, work under a brokerage. Then you can get your broker's license. You can start up your own firm, have real estate agents working for you. You want to sell higher tickets? Then you sell yachts one day. You go sell freaking jets. I don't know how to do that. I haven't broken that threshold yet with the yachts and jets. So I don't know. But hey, you can take sales far, man. And the beautiful thing is, if you are an entrepreneur and you have that entrepreneurial mindset and you want to create something for yourself, if you sell for another company, learn. Pay attention to their tactics, their system, their scripts, their POS system, what applications they use, right? So that when you want to start your own company, you have that information. We call it being a spy, you know? When I was working at the gym, I've always wanted to open my own gym. Perhaps one day in the future I will, when everything gets right. After I get over this hump, I probably will. But I study, like I'm looking at the applications they use on the computer to track memberships. How do they redirect phone calls? Front desk manager, how do they do this? What's their POS system? All this stuff, right? So then one day when you start up your own company, let's say you want to sell your own notebooks one day. Your ability to sell, you can use that to market your own freaking product now, right? So now instead of selling a notebook for another company, you can make a video on social media saying, I just ran across the best notebook in the world. And I've tried thousands. Something about this notebook is different. Let me show you guys. First of all, this notebook is so clean. It's pristine. And I love it. And then it's your product and you get all the profit, all the benefit, right? If you hate working for someone, keep working for someone so that you can remember how it feels to benefit somebody. Work hard, bleed sweat, just to benefit someone else's pockets. So that you get angry, so that you never put yourself in that position again. Simple. I highly recommend you learn how to sell. When you learn how to sell good, you can take it to the sky, man. Remember, it's high leverage. Companies want you. Like, when I stepped away from Brother Cosmetics, I had some companies, I had some freaking companies, like nail companies that we knew. They're sending me direct messages saying, hey, I'm the president of operations here. It's hard to find talent. We would love for you to become one of our sales associates, because they saw what I was capable of, man. Like, in terms of like the nail industry, like we made a mark. Shout out to my friend. He made a great platform. His TikTok has 1.6 million. He's verified on TikTok. Brother Nail Tech, right? And so when I got on live, dude, these lives shot to the whole world, right? Like everyone saw my face, right? Especially the nail industry. Like they knew who I was. They saw what I can do, right? They just saw. They knew. They knew. I mean, they knew. And you have leverage, right? And so when I was working with my boy, me and him clashed heads a lot, because I mean, he's a CEO and founder. And as a CEO and founder, you take immense pride in building something, right? Because you worked hard. Like you did all the research, all the hard nights. You showed up every day for the past couple years. You never took a day off, and you kept going, you kept grinding, and no one was there to help you, and you had to figure it out. And when I came along and I presented this high leverage skill, and you know, I started becoming like the face of the company, it really took a shot at him. And I don't even blame him, because if the roles were switched, it would have took a toll on me, right? Because it's like, damn, why is he getting all the recognition? But it's because I put myself out there, right? And it was just because that's the game. Like, he became reliant on me, which I would offer, and I would highly recommend any CEO, any founder of a company, don't be relying on anybody. If you're relying on a salesperson, please make sure you know how to sell, because if one day that salesperson leaves, at least now you can sell your own stuff, right? But the thing is, he was relying on me. And when there were times where I just couldn't show up, things just didn't go well, right? And when I did show up, things just went well, right? And I got a lot of the recognition, and it wasn't on him. He was kind of like in the shadows, and he was like, well, I want to be known for whatever I've done. And so it took a toll on his pride. But me and him clashed heads a lot. Like I pissed him off. I pissed off everyone around me, because I was just this angry, ambitious dude who just wanted the money. Screw you guys. I don't want to you guys are lazy. You know, I'd be there early. I'd be doing the cold calls. And when he showed up late, I'm like, where the hell were you? Oh, we're trying to get to it. Don't you want to build this company? And I would talk to him crazy, because I was just this angry, anxious, bitter, young 21, 22-year-old just trying to become a millionaire ASAP, right? And he had to tolerate me because he's like, dude, I have no choice. If I get rid of this dude, like the growth of the company goes down, right? Which is why I'm saying, as a salesperson, if you're good, you have leverage. I didn't want to use that power leverage on him. That's my friend. I would like to believe I'm a decent human. But let's say you're working for a company who only sees you as a number. You have leverage, right? If you are benefiting, now you can say, well, I want to raise. Otherwise, I'm out. Sometimes you are replaceable, sometimes I'm not, but they will cater to you. They will give you their nipples to suck on, right? Companies will do that because you're valuable. You have power. You know how to influence. That means you know how to build connections and relationships with people. A lot of sales is psychology. And if you know, I'm a freaking dork for psychology. I'm a fan of psychology, and I sure do love philosophy. And so sales is just like a cherry on top. It's like, this is psychology. It's understanding human nature, human behavior. It's understanding that, hey, these people, they want to buy something. You just have to help them. Like, what do you want? I'll help you. You want to buy something? I'll help you buy something and spend your money. Just tell me what you want to spend your money on. You know, sales is not just submission. Beat them up. Sales is not rape. Sales is you take your pants off and you're like, this is what it is. Right? That's sales. Sales isn't brutally forcing someone to freaking spend their money on something they don't want. That's not sales. Sales is you want to spend your money on something. It's my job to help you spend your money on the right things so that you can get the best results, the most bang for your buck. That's my job, to make it worthwhile for you because you already want to spend money, right? And so if you're a young man, screw a fast food job, screw that gym. Crunch Fitness, LA Fitness, 24-hour Fitness, Planet Fitness, doesn't matter. Gym. Apply to all of them. Tell them, and look, if you want the hack to get hired, sometimes they're not hiring. You just say, let me speak to the manager. And he's like, oh, bro, I don't have any hours. I'll be like, dude, listen to me. I got nothing. I'll even scrub toilets. But I'm hungry and I have nothing and I'm broke. Look into my eyes. I'm sure you see it. I'm sure you've been broke before. I'm asking for a shot here. I know you don't have hours to give. But here's my resume, dude. Like the moment, an hour, like if you can even give me 2 hours, let me show you what I'm made of. I'll be the best salesperson you have. I'll benefit you and you'll end up looking good. Your club, your gym will look good and it'll all be to you, all the glory to you. And I'll just be a foot soldier, man. I need work. You do that. You pitch them that. You need to sell the salesperson, right? Sell the salesperson. Because these managers, they have a bunch of interviews. There's so many people they can hire. Why should they hire you? So you have to sell the salesperson. You have no idea where you could take this. You could take it very far. Sales. Do it. Trust me. And I'll be making more videos on sales tactics, etc., etc. Again, my foundation is really gyms and Brother Cosmetics, man. And I mean, those numbers were high, man. I don't really have a hard count of how much money I brought into the company, just me alone. But if I had to give you an estimate, it's anywhere between 100 to 350K within a span of like a year and a half, maybe even less, right? And that was just off of me building charisma, me building a personality. So that's why I believe sales will change your life and why it's changed my life. And in the upcoming videos, I'll give you guys some tactics on how to sell better, right? You guys take care, man.